Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Sunday, June the 4th, race number 8 at Woodbine. We're going 6.5 furlongs on the Tapeta surface. It's the Grade 3 Hendrie Stakes for older fillies and mares. Let's take a peek at this field, and Mike, yet another really competitive graded stakes race at Woodbine.
Yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of different ways to go in here. I suppose I was wondering who was going to be the favorite. I suppose they have the right favorite on the morning line in number 8, Miss Ella. But other than that, I mean, I think there are a lot of different horses that could win this race.
Remember to head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com. Download those free Formulator past performances and handicap along with us. We'll get to Miss Ella in a bit, but I want to talk about River Maid, who I believe was the champion filly and mare sprinter up in Canada in 2016. She has raced twice now in 2017. She's lost both times.
Yeah.
Something tells me she's going to run a little bit better this time around.
She better run a little bit better this time around. I didn't think her seasonal debut in the Whimsical was a terrible performance. I thought she ran fine in there to get second. I don't really know what to say about her last race. That was not a good performance. If she shows up and runs that race, she gets nothing in here. I agree with you. I think she will run better, but I don't know how much I really trust her as, I guess, one of the favorites in here. Overall, that race, May 14th, they got 4 horses coming out of that race. I don't know about you. I don't like that race.
I don't really love that race either. The winner of that race, though, was pretty good that day. That was Blurricane. And Blurricane might be a price yet again. I think some folks are wondering if maybe that was a bit of a fluky effort, but it was her first start off the layoff. She showed a strong kick, but the race has come back slow. Yeah,
I mean, I just don't like the race. I don't have any real knocks on her herself. She's won 4 of her last 5 races. She's been in good form. That race just didn't really do a lot for me.
Let's talk about Miss Ella, one of the strangers in here. We'll begin with the Timeform US Pace Projector. This is a complete unknown for Miss Ella, racing on a synthetic surface. She's good on dirt. She's certainly okay on the turf.
Yeah.
But the connections realize that there's probably more money this year for her in maybe these synthetic sprints than on turf. They've got that Presque Isle Downs Masters race, which is a rich race, coming up later on this summer and into the fall. Miss Ella is the number 8, and it's likely that she can be up close on a fairly moderate pace, and that would make her tough.
Yeah, there's not a ton of pace in this race. I think that can be to her advantage. I think she's a fine horse. I don't have any problem with her either. Would I want her at 2-1 or 5-2 in this race if she tries synthetic for the first time? No, probably not. Wouldn't bet her at that kind of a price, but she could obviously win.
And we have a formulator fact concerning Miss Ella's excellent trainer, Graham Motion. Over the past 5 years with older runners moving from turf to synthetic in the second start off the layoff, 46% and a $3.30 ROI. I agree with everything you say. She's a very logical contender on paper, but at a short price, considering she's never set foot on a synthetic surface, I'd take a little shot against her.
Yeah, I agree with that. And listen, maybe she's just finding the right field here as she tries synthetic for the first time, because it's not like, you know, she's been facing good company on turf down in the States, but she's like one of those horses, even in those turf races, and I think that's her best surface, turf sprinting. Even in those races, I don't want her at short prices.
Horse that might be a little bit closer than the pace projector figures is the number 4 Chic Thrill. This is a horse that went gate to wire the last time we saw her. The problem is the last time we saw her was way back on June the 26th of 2016. This is an extremely long layoff she's going to have to overcome. I think she has some talent. It's a shame she's a bit ouchy.
Yeah, it seems like they can't keep her in regular racing, and that's a real problem for her. I think she has some talent too. I also, you know, we'll see how it plays out. I guess she hasn't really raced enough on synthetic yet, but I think she's a better turf horse.
The number 6 Code Warrior began her career with 3 consecutive victories, 2 against stakes foes over the Tapeta surface at Golden Gate Fields. But now she's riding an 8-race losing streak, and her excellent trainer Rachel Halden's going to try to shake things up by adding blinkers. I like her tactical ability, and I think she has the ability to work out a good trip, but she's exiting that race you don't like.
Yeah, I just don't like that race. It's a problem for me. I really liked her at the beginning of her career. I liked the way she started out. She looked good to me, and I still think she's good. She's running fast races. She's still around it every time, second or third, even though she can't seem to find another win. I think she's a contender here. I think if you get the 8-1 on the morning line, you're probably doing all right with her. I just wanted to bet someone else.
Crumlin Spirit, 3rd start back, another horse coming out of the Blade, but when you look at her records, lots of second place finishes, 20-1 on the morning line. That last race was a bit of an improvement. Maybe she can sneak into the exotics yet again.
Maybe she can. Listen, you can't like them all, and I don't like that last race, so I'm avoiding those horses.
What about the 3 Rat-a-Tap-Tap? I think she's kind of an interesting invader at a big price for trainer Bill Mott. This one's moving turf to synth, cutting back in distance a little bit. That Plenty of Grace last time out was won by a solid enough Chad Brown horse. And Barra Gold, who was fourth in that race, came back to run second in the Ruffian on dirt with a 96 buyer. I've never been a big rat-a-tap-tap fan, but I wonder if maybe this is the spot on synthetic.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't mind them turning her back here and trying synthetic with her again. Of course, she did win on synthetic way back at the start of her career. I don't know. She didn't do any running in the Plenty of Grace last time. You mentioned, Barra Gold finished fourth and came back to run well, but Barra Gold ran really well in the Plenty of Grace, and this horse didn't.
Cactus Copy tried Isabella Sings, a very fast Todd Pletcher-trained turf horse most recently. Distance, surface, a lot of questions for that spot. First time off of the layoff. She ran okay in the Ruling Angel Stakes, 2 starts back. Her final start as a 3-year-old. She's got some upside at a price.
She does. That's true. They tried a couple of tough stakes races with her sort of last summer. It didn't work out well at all, but she did run well on that last one before the layoff. And now they go turf to dirt and cut her back. Those things could work for her.
Let's take a look at our top selections for this year's Grade 3 Hendrie Stakes. You're going with Mark Cassie's entrant on the outside. The number 10, Jennifer Lynette. She's just been super impressive ever since she came back off that layoff at 4.
Yeah, she has. I liked, it's funny, she's like my kind of horse in the sense that I loved her at the start of her career. I thought her first 2 career starts were both really good, and things didn't necessarily work out for her last year, but she didn't get a lot of racing, and she's come back with 2 starts this year. She's been really impressive. The one little thing that bothers me about her is she's not a great gate horse. She tends to get out of the gate slowly. That can be a problem for her, and especially in a field like this. But she's got the outside post. Maybe that can help with that. And she's got really nice, easy speed, but she doesn't need the lead. I love her last 2 races. I think she'll be a price in this race, and I'm going to bet her.
Perhaps my heart is kind of leading me astray here. I'm a huge fan of the number 2, Mink Surprise. Something tells me that maybe she wants a little bit longer than 6.5, and this is just a starting off point for Roger Atfield, who sent out nothing but live horses at Woodbine this meet. But I think this horse has had sneaky trips in her last 3 races. I thought she ran okay despite some traffic last time out in the Bessarabian. The blinkers off doesn't really thrill me, but it looks like she's been working right along every 7 days for Atfield. If she gets a fair pace, I think she'll give a good account for herself. If not on Sunday, keep an eye on Mink Surprise when she stretches out later this year. I think there's a good race for her.
I agree with all that stuff, and she's the other horse that I wanted in this race too. I'm a little worried about the layoff. I always wonder too when guys. A trainer changed to Atfield for the first time, and he's going to make an equipment change right away. So I don't know. Maybe he saw something. I wonder how it'll work out. This is a good horse, though.
Mike's going to go 10, 2, 8, and 7. Jennifer Lynette on top, 8 to 1 on the morning line. I'm going to go with the number 2, Mink Surprise, Patrick Husbands, Roger Atfield, 6 to 1 on the morning line. If you are playing the Sunday Woodbine card from home, DRF Bets invites you to be a VIP for a week. And all you have to do, if you're a new subscriber to DRF Bets, is head on over to drfbets.com/VIP, and you'll be able to access a $300 bonus and lots more. Approximate post time for the Grade 3 Hendrie, race number 8 at beautiful Woodbine, 4:55 Eastern. Good luck.